What if this little calculator could do more than just crunch numbers? What if it could connect to your social media, run custom apps, and tap into the internet? You don't have to just imagine it because I'm JBlanked, and in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to turn your PicoCalc from an isolated gadget into a connected social powerhouse. Now, before we jump in, let's go over what you'll need. The list is pretty short. First, you'll obviously need a PicoCalc, specifically one with a Raspberry Pi Pico or Pico W inside. That W is the magic letter. It stands for wireless, and it's the chip that makes all of this possible. Second, you'll need your Wi-Fi network name, which is the SSID, and your password. It's important to know that the Pico W only connects to a 2.4 gigahertz networks. It won't see or connect to a 5 gigahertz network. So go ahead and grab those now. And lastly, you'll need a good quality micro USB data cable. Not just any old charging cable will work. Some cables are power only and can't transfer data. If your computer isn't seeing the device, a bad cable is almost always the reason. And that's really it. No soldering, no complex tools, just the device, a cable, and a few minutes. With our gear ready, let's talk about the software that runs the show. Right out of the box, the Clockwork Pi PicoCalc often boots into a simple, basic programming prompt. Now, I am aware that the PicoCalcs shipped recently have a bootloader that loads up instead, but most users are here for Basic. Now, that's super cool, but also pretty limited. It's a self-contained offline world. To really open this thing up, we need a new brain. That brain is a custom firmware I created called Picoware. Think of it as a total OS replacement. I built it to transform the PicoCalc from a single-purpose calculator into a multi-tool that runs a full graphical user face with apps, icons, and menus. It's pretty much a complete personality transplant for the device. To install, head over to the Builds folder, click on Micropython, and download the version that fits your Raspberry Pi Pico inside. So, of course, if you have the Pico W, you use the Pico W variant, or the Pico W, you use the Pico W variant. Now we need to turn our PicoCalc off, and now we can put it in bootloader mode by turning it to the back. From here, you want to grab your micro USB data cable and also a small toothpick or something if you don't have a custom case like this one made by N602. Now, while holding the boot select button, which is this small button on the Pico itself, we're going to plug that micro USB cable into the port on the Pico device. Once your computer recognizes the Pico as a USB drive, you can let go of the button. Now, if you have a Pico W, the drive will appear as RPI-RP2, but if you're on the Pico W, it'll appear as RP2350. Now you want to get the file you downloaded earlier and simply drag it onto the drive. After that, the device will accept the firmware and reboot once it's finished. Now when you turn on the device, that old command line is gone, replaced by a custom UI. You'll see a boot screen and even status icons for things like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. This is really the foundation for everything else we're about to do. Picoware gives us Wi-Fi, it gives us an app library, and it gives us the power to connect to the outside world. This version is built on Micropython, which means it's not just a closed system, it's pretty much an open invitation to create, modify, and experiment. Alright, time for the fun part. Let's get this thing online. Press the Enter key to open the app library. This is the central hub for all of your applications. Now with the arrow keys, scroll down and click Wi-Fi. Then after that, go down and click Settings. Inside, you'll find two main parts, change SSID and change password. This is where we'll teach the PicoCalc how to log into your home network. Let's start with the SSID. Select Change SSID and click Enter. An on-screen keyboard will pop up, and you can either use the D-pad or the PicoCalc's keyboard to type in your SSID. And once you're done, just scroll down and click Save. Now, you need to do this exact same thing for your Wi-Fi password. Then, with all of your Wi-Fi details entered, hit the back key to return to the main Wi-Fi menu, then scroll up and click Connect. Now, some people have had issues here, so let me clear up some confusion. You'll click Right to connect, and it will attempt to connect with a 10-second timeout. If it fails to connect, just click Up to disconnect, and then click Right again to connect. Now, I'm not sure why you have to do this, but sometimes you need to disconnect from the Wi-Fi and connect again a few times in order for it to connect. But once you're connected, you can hit the back button to leave. And here's one of the coolest parts. Picoware automatically saves those credentials. The next time you boot up your PicoCalc, it'll connect to your network automatically and sync the time. No extra steps needed. Well, if you got your PicoCalc connected to Wi-Fi, definitely hit that like button and let me know down in the comments. It's a huge step and it means you're officially ready for the fun stuff. Now that we're online, we can finally tap into the true potential here. Go back into the main app library, click Applications, and inside you'll see a few pre-installed apps. I should have mentioned this earlier, but if you don't see any apps, go back to Builds, Micropython, and you need to put the apps folder on your SD card. Within your SD card, create a folder called Picoware if it's not there already, and then drag and drop this entire apps folder into that Picoware folder. Here's what my drive looks like. I have my Picoware folder. Here's the list of apps. We have the Wi-Fi folder, which has our credentials, settings for Picoware, and the Flip Social app, which contains all of the files for Flip Social. Don't worry about anything except for dragging the apps folder into the Picoware folder, as Picoware manages the other folders. Okay, now we're back on the PicoCalc. Inside of the applications, you should now see all of the apps. And this is where the real magic begins. A lot of the spirit for this project came from my work on other hobbyist devices like the Flipper Zero, where I created the original Flip social media app. But now let's check out the app. Click Enter on Flip Social. Now this app takes a few seconds to load since it's being loaded dynamically and it's over 2,500 lines long. Also, if your Wi-Fi is not connected, you'll get an alert saying so. But your first time within the app, you'll need to scroll down and click Settings and then fill in a custom username. Now, there's over 2,200 registrations, so make sure yours is unique and at least 6 characters long. Then you need to go and type in a custom password that's also at least 6 characters long. After that, click back and then click up on Run. And here we are. I turned down the brightness to make it a little bit easier to read on camera. But inside of here, we have 5 options. We have Feed, Post, Messages, Explore, and Profile. Let me explain each of the options. So Feed allows you to see a list of posts from all users. You can click Enter on a post and it will flip the post, which is my version of a like. You can also click down on a post to view the comments. Now if we go back again, and then go over, we have the post. Now, post allows you to type and send a new post to the feed. Next, we have the messages, which are your private direct messages with users on the network. Back again, over to Explore. Explore allows you to search for users using a keyword. And then once you click Save, it will fetch a list of users with that keyword. And if you go over and click Enter on a name, you can send them a private message right away. Okay, let's go back. Go over to Profile. This currently shows your bio, how many friends you have, and the date that you joined. Well, if this is your first time on the app, definitely post a message on the feed saying hi from PicoCalc or something, and then send me a direct message. I check this network daily, and as we saw within the feed, multiple users are active throughout the day. So you're online and you check the social media app, but you're ready to build something for yourself. How does this all actually work? Well, it's crucial to understand that this is built using Micropython. And Picoware doesn't just let you use apps, it's designed to allow you to make them. You can type in your file name, then go down and click Save. And here is the built-in code editor. This means you can write and save your own Micropython scripts directly on the device without ever plugging it into a computer again. You could code a new app, save it, and it will automatically show up in your app library ready to go. Now, the code for many Picoware apps, including the Flip Social one we just saw, is all open source and available on GitHub. You can literally read the scripts and see how they handle Wi-Fi requests, how they draw things on the screen, and how they process button presses. I even included a guide that goes over creating your own apps. And I have several tutorials on this channel already, creating apps from scratch on the PicoCalc. For anyone curious about development, this is an incredible way to learn. You can see how a real functional networked application is built and then try to modify it or make it yourself. I designed Picoware to be a modular platform. Although we reviewed the Micropython version, you can also use Arduino IDE or the C and C++ SDK. Hopefully this open approach invites creativity from all corners of the coding world, ensuring that this platform is always growing and evolving. So let's recap. We took a device that looked like a simple calculator and turned it into a Wi-Fi connected app running pocket computer. We gave a gadget with a fixed purpose a new lease on life with limitless potential. We didn't just update a device, we unlocked a programmable tool for learning, creating, and connecting. Well, welcome to the world of Picoware. Now that you have this power, what's the very first thing you want to build? Definitely let me know your wildest ideas in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this guide and want to see more deep dives into what's possible with the PicoCalc, make sure you're subscribed. I'm JBlanked. Thanks for watching. Peace.